Alright, so this is the tutorial on how to play If I Get High by Nothing But Thieves. I've seen a lot of tutorials out here, but they're just the main part. So I'm gonna add the melody. Just fair warning, I don't know if it's 100% correct, but I just kind of went through it and picked it out note by note. So to start, this is how you play the main melody. So it's gonna be your first finger on the 11th fret of the A string, and you're probably better off using your pinky for the 13th of the D string. Okay, so first finger, 11th of the A, pinky on the 13th of the D, and you can hit the low E string and then strum 5 times like that. Some people go and hit each string individually. You can also hit them both. Just kind of depends on the, the feel you're going for. If you want something cleaner versus, more full. But anyway, it's boom and then 5. So now you're gonna take the same shape and slide it down to the 7th and the 9th. Same strings, same fingers. So twice on those. Okay, so and for those you want to strum them. So if you do, you still want to strum those two together. And now you're going to move your index down to the 6th. Okay, that's why I suggest using your pinky, because that's kind of a hard stretch for some people. The pinky just makes it a little easier. So, full thing. And you're just hitting that one time and hitting that one note. So, leave that bottom one out. Just hit it on the A string. So, like I did, you just repeat the whole thing twice. And for that next phrase of the verse, you just drop the whole thing down a set of strings. So index on the 11th of the D, pinky on the 13th of the G, and you're gonna hit the open A. Slide down to the 7th and the 9th twice, and move that index down to the 6th once. That's pretty much the entirety of the, rhythm in the background. I think during the chorus, you can also kind of make this a fuller chord, right? So for this power chord shape, you're just gonna add in the 13th of the G. So that would be index on the 11th of the A, ring finger on the 13th of the D, pinky on the 13th of the G. So it's just a fuller sound compared to that. Right? And then I think he just goes down and plays that power chord that's down a set of strings without adding anything else. Right? So, sorry about that. Alright, so if you want to, if it's easier, you can just use that ring finger and bar these 2 strings. Makes that transition a little easier. And, when you're getting into it and kind of wailing on it, if your hand's big enough, you can take your thumb and just kind of like mute out that low E. So when you go to hit the, this chord right here, you can kind of come in, and that E string's not gonna ring out. So you just pick it back up. Anyway, that's the gist of the verse. You can also just kind of play this throughout the whole song and do it that way. So that's the guitar part. It's literally just those shapes. Okay, so I got it looped, and I'm gonna eventually play that and play the melody over it. But now I'll move on to the melody just without the backing track, so it's a little easier. We'll start off slow. So you're gonna start off on the 9th of the G string. Okay, pretty sure it's an E. Yeah, so it's an E. So you start off there 3 times, drop down a half step, okay, so 3, once on that half step down, and you're gonna go up to the 9th of the D. Okay, twice there. So 3 times on the 9th of the G, once on the 8th of the G, twice on the 9th of the D. So, and then you're gonna either take your ring or your pinky finger, and you're gonna go from the 11th of the G and slide up to the 13th. All right, and this is whenever he's singing that part. You know, I feel my lungs every night. Okay, so that's the first part of that phrase. And then you're gonna go so that's 3 times on the 8th of the G. Slide up to the 9th. And it's gonna be 11th on the D. So all together. All right. So that's this is pretty much what he's singing. So if you're like me and you can't sing, you can just loop the track and play this over it. So that's the first part of those lyrics. Now you're just going to repeat it, but we're going to change that second part a little bit. So you played it one time. Now you're playing it the second time. It's exactly the same. This is where you change it. And you're going to start on the 9th of the G, hit that and slide down to the 8th. Okay. Hit that note one more time. Once again, you're going to slide it up. So that sounds like this. So slide, hit the note regular, hit it and slide. And you're just gonna bring that ring up to the 11th of the D, and that finishes out that sequence. So the whole thing all together now is all right. And then the part when he's like, and we run, very simple. So ring finger on the 11th of the G, and plant your index on the 9th of the G. And then you're just gonna so all I'm doing is hitting that 11th fret, pulling off, hitting the 9th, and coming back down. You can do this like hammer on and pull off, or you can like hit the note and then hit the so you can hit the 11th, hit the 9th, and then hammer back on. And it just makes it a little smoother because, you know, when you sing, it's not so like note by note necessarily. There's a more like fluidity to it. So I find with doing stuff like this, slides work better than like, you know, so, or, you know, pull offs and stuff. So you're gonna go 4 times like that. On the 5th, when you plant that last note on the 11th, slide it up to the 13th. So it sounds like this. So what I did there, you do your 4 times, you know. Slide up, slide with the ring, and you're gonna hit your index right there on the 11th. You're gonna hit it and slide it back down. Because, you know, and we run, and he goes up like that. And he just goes right back into it. So having that slide makes it smoother than like trying to, you know, do that. So after that slide, he finishes out with what was that, 3? You're gonna go up to the 11th of the D. So all together for that, and we run part. Okay. Easiest way to do it, I think, is just have that middle finger come up. You know, it's cleaner than like trying to quickly pull off with the ring and come up a string, because sometimes you get that like pull off effect. You don't want that. You want that like very, you know, doop doop. So you finish that part. You're gonna hit that note twice. Come down to the 7th. Come down to the 9th of the D once. And then back to the 11th on the D twice. So it sounds like this, coming off of that part. I'm sorry, I messed up. You're just gonna hit that 11th of the D once at the very end. Okay. Okay. So, and then from there, you're gonna grab the 11th on the G and slide it up to the 13th. Now, I don't know if it's easier for you to use your pinky there. If you're quick enough, you can use your, you know, just hop down with the ring. You can let that note ring out a little bit. Slide it up. That's an A. That's an A flat. You can slide it up to just a regular A. Okay. So let's put the whole sequence together. All right. So just coming up one half step. So 13th to the 14th on the G string. And then this is the part when he's like, if I get high enough. So this part's actually pretty easy. It's the 9th and the 11th on the D string. And then 9th and the 11th on the G string. So. That's twice on the 9th and the G. So. You can start the second one the same way. So 9, 11 on the D. 9th on the G. Now you're gonna grab the 9th on the G and slide it up to the 13th. Oop. You can hit twice on the 11th of the G. So whole thing. And just a little pro tip, I like to slide these because it's smoother. All right. So that's when he's saying if I get high enough. And then when he says, will I see you again? It's 9th on the G, 11th on the G, slide that up to the 13th on the G, back to the 11th, 9th, and then go up a string to the 9th on the D. So that sounds like this. All right, you kind of got to get the rhythm to it. You know, it's not just this. All right, that's why I like the slides. It's just a little smoother. All right, that's how that one finishes. And he goes back into it. And we run, right? Okay, so that's pretty much the majority of it. And then when he goes up to like that really big note and you know everything gets all emotional and stuff, all he's doing is, so you're just gonna hold that note out, right? That's when he's like, if I get high, but he's not saying enough, right? He's just, and then that big note, he goes 9, 11 on the D, 9 on the G, 11 to 13 slide on the G, and then he's gonna go up that half step. So you just, and this one, honestly, you just kind of got to feel it out and like groove with it. I usually just kind of like, and then it goes straight into. So that's all it is. You just kind of, and something else you can do here, which you kind of have to have a good ear for it, but you can bend that note up. and it makes it a little more like smoother and a little more, not as so like choppy, right? Nope. And you can also use this bend in this part, so. Right? My bends suck, but you can so how that would sound with the rhythm in the background, I'm gonna play the whole thing once over, just all together. So. Repeat everything again. I'm just gonna do the big one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, that was me kind of going through and trying to match the notes to what he's actually singing. That's about as close as I've got it. I haven't really seen any tutorials on anybody teaching how to play the melody part of it. So anyway, that's my crack at it. Hope that helped y'all out. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.